So, welcome back to another episode of Everything Football Show. And today we are going to be discussing the shambolic collapse of
Not shambolic.
it's shambolic to me of Arsenal and Liverpool over the weekend, and also the match against Spurs and Newcastle. So, which one are we starting with? Should we start with the
Let's start with
Europa
Spurs
League,
and
or
Liverpool.
do we start with?
What the
Start with
weekend?
the list.
What the
Start with
All right,
weekend?
Newcastle.
so let's start with Spurs and Newcastle. What do you think happened? Why did Spurs, collapse like that and like lose by?
I was reading an article that talked about how like Newcastle setup over the weekend might have just been the template to counter against double inverted fullbacks and stuff like that. And I think yes, we should just give credit to Newcastle, to their managerial staff. Despite how the season has been, a lot of people have written them off, but they seem to be getting into form at the right time. And they just showed why they were so good last season and why people rated them and why they actually got in the UEFA Champions League. And I mean, people like Alexandra Isak, Leighton Baines, and even that's Ashley Barnes rather, and then
Abi.
Avi Barnes. Jesus Christ, old age. People like Barnes, people like Isak, people like Gordon. I mean, they've been and Guimaraes,
I started with Guimaraes actually.
because I mean he buzzed that midfield, but then I think it was a result of a good setup, and it shows that sports can be beat. We've seen that throughout this season. Also, their whole high line a bit overrated, and I mean he got them result at the beginning of the season, but eventually you get found out, and it's just a very very sloppy sleep down from there. But I really did enjoy that game. Top performance by Guimaraes. By the way,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, two things. Maybe they've not recovered from last season. Last season humbling. I think that one was actually in like 20 minutes. They were 4-0 or 3-0 ahead. Newcastle, same match,
Yeah.
different manager. I think the guy actually was Antonio Conte's assistant manager that actually handled. He was doing interim after Conte left.
Yes.
That actually cost him the interim job as well. So that they might still be recovering from that, having nightmares of, of that match in this match. And I mean, I've always been saying this about Postecoglou. Let me just say Angie. Angie's eye line, suicidal eye line. It was a matter of time. You can't always play like that and get away with it every time. Once or twice you get results like this. It's a very dangerous way to play, especially with not exactly elite defenders. They use Christian Romero. Apart from Christian Romero, I don't think they have any. Van de Ven is not. Nicky, is he back?
Yeah,
He played.
he
He's just
played
coming
now.
back. Maybe not a back in form, sha. I think apart from Romero and Nicky Van de Ven, I don't think they have any really elite defenders. And you're playing that high.
Yeah.
It's bound to tell.
For me, the airline is not much of an issue, but how high they get is an issue
Yeah.
in every match. You can't always be on the halfway
Halfway
line
line.
against every opponent. There are some opponents that that are dangerous on the counter.
Yeah.
There are some opponents that okay, if we press them from the front, I'll keep a very high line. Our chance I will get the ball.
Yeah.
But like my issue, aside that, my second issue is not having a plan B, not being adaptable to the game. Like, what is the word now? In-game management.
Yes.
Some of the games they've lost this season, as to me, has been down to Angie. I mean, I understand he doesn't necessarily have the right midfielders to fully implement what he's trying to do,
Yeah.
but also he should also take some accountability. He's not as adaptable as he should be. For like almost 1 hour, over 1 hour in that game, they were getting pressed very high. Their fullbacks were pressed.
Yeah.
Their midfielders, Bisuma,
Yes.
there was always somebody man marking him. Like, so it made it very difficult for them to play out. It was not until later in the second half, around the 70 something minute, that they started sending long balls and started like exploiting Newcastle's weakness.
Yeah.
There was huge gap between the midfield and the defense,
Yeah.
and like the defenders that they used are not. This guy actually played 5-2. Is it a 5-4-1 formation? That was what he
Yeah.
actually played, and that was because most of his Trippier is out,
Yeah.
Boatman is out, Jamal Lascelles too is out. So they played Emil Kraft. They played Fabian Shah. I've forgotten the other person that paired Shah behind. But like my point is the back line was shaky
Yeah.
and they didn't exploit that. And he had pacey attackers in the first half. He played a front three of Son, Bernard Johnson, and Timo Werner.
Yeah.
So like one or two passes, send it long. Even City go long
Yeah.
at times. So like yes, I get that's your philosophy, that's your system, but you should be able to think outside the box, be adaptable. If you ping in one or two long balls after 2 or 3 passes, they'll be shaking, they'll be aware.
They won't be as confident in pressing high, that that high.
Yeah, he played Emil Kraft as a centre back, then he played Jamal Murphy as
a right back.
so like when they went ahead,
So actually,
it was
it was a 3-4-3 that like collapses into a 5-4-1 in.
no, when they
in-
went
in
ahead, when they were
defense
like
and-
2 goals ahead, it was a 5-4-1,
It became a 5-4-1.
It was a 5-4-1. and it worked because Isak is pacey,
Yeah.
and they kept on. They were not even in their half for Isak's second goal.
Yeah.
They were not in their half.
Yeah, it was.
Isak made a run
From his half.
towards Van der Ven's he made a run towards his right, his left before he made a run towards his right, then he turned and made a run towards his left. So that's how he stayed onside. It was a funny performance to me, because I was happy, but at the same time I was sad. Like these guys are genuinely laboring hard
For
to
nothing.
get out of their own half. It was like EPL said, okay, Spurs, this game you must play out of the back. If you don't play out of the back, we're going to subtract so amount of points. Because like I'm like, it's not working, and you're still doing it over and over. I mean, that's insanity, bro.
But I
Yeah.
mean, also there's a school of thought that if you really want to get something, you need to be able to like suffer through whatever the side effects are, I guess. So
Yes,
Angie,
definitely.
that is
but
Angie's philosophy,
you
right?
also have to
He
be
believes that
adaptable.
he believes that irrespective of what is going on, they do not have to change, and like that's the only way they can actually grow to become the sort of team they are. And ideally, it never came into this season to like be in Champions League conversations. So
You
like,
see, I agree
to some
with you.
extent,
I agree with you
it
halfway.
isn't my view.
I
I'm just
agree
like,
with you on that school of thought
I
halfway.
am putting out
But if
how
you don't want-
Angie sees it,
If you
and, like,
don't
why
want to
he's
get caught,
adamant.
if you don't want to get found out,
Yeah,
you cannot remain like that. You have to be adaptable.
fact.
The best of managers are the ones that can switch it up in game while the game is going on. You have to be able to, manage the game while it's going on. You cannot just see against Chelsea
Yeah.
with two players out, red card. He was still playing that high. I mean, I respect him. He's a man of character. I like people like that live and die by their. But that doesn't mean him being adaptable takes nothing away from his philosophy.
Yeah, fair.
And I think that's what he needs to get. And he's very lucky that this season is just for them to get back on track. I mean, if it was a sports side as well that is expected to qualify or like challenge,
it would have been
he will be under immense
a lot of
pressure, and it will be worse than this.
Definitely.
I actually think next season is going to suffer. Because if we continue to that line, people will adapt and they will find him out. And you can't. I don't even know, unless you have like world class, extremely fast defenders. Matter of time, it's dangerous. Line very is at least for that is Tottenham's.
If you know something about
People are
Premier
not
League,
afraid
there's
to attack
always
Tottenham.
yes,
They will always attack them. So it's just suicidal to me. And I'll expect them to flop next season, sure.
Yeah. All right. So like Spurs are fifth currently now. They are 3 points behind Aston Villa. No. Are they level on points?
No, we are one.
Yeah, no.
Is it that level of point or 3 points behind?
They are 3 points behind.
Yeah, they are 3 points
Aston Villa
behind
is
Villa.
63,
So they are fifth,
and,
and the difference between
Tottenham
them and the
60.
sixth, which is Newcastle, is 10 points.
But they have a game in hand.
With no,
Yes, they do.
Spurs have a game in
Yeah.
hand. do you think Newcastle can make a run for the fifth place, or do you think it's between Spurs and Aston Villa
Interesting. United are even in this
for fourth and
conversation.
fifth?
I think it's now a for horse race. I mean, United are not in the conversation anymore, unfortunately. But like
I mean, yeah, that's why
they're
I'm 6
level
points,
on
but
points
I'm not
with
taking United
they're
as
Well,
they're,
six.
they're,
minus one.
they're level on points
They
with
have
Newcastle, right?
they have
So I
they're
feel
18,
like
18 goals behind Newcastle.
yeah, I feel like it's still a lot to play for. If this last if these last 4 games I've told us anything, is like we should throw analysis out of the window till the end of the
Hold
season
on, but like,
and just like react to how
as
those
it,
games turn out, because it's so interesting.
Also, when there are 2 games in hand, they will meet up.
Exactly. So like there's so much permutations that could happen. But the interesting thing is that those 2 games are like against
let me
solid
ask you the
sides.
important question:
So yes,
if and when Newcastle, Spurs, and Villa drop points,
yes.
do you think Man U will be able to capitalize?
Are you saying
That's the
why are you
important thing.
saying Man U? Man
No,
U
he
is
said a
not-
4 horse race now,
No,
so
Man
he's
U is not
counting Man U.
important.
Do you think Man U can
I think it's left to
capitalize?
be seen. You never know with this teams,
You
really.
think it's left to be
It's
seen?
left to be seen. Yes.
How
Wow,
many matches?
defining you.
No, I believe it's left to be seen now.
There are 6
Honestly,
games to go. Right? If Man U can win,
United have 7 games here.
okay, 7 games to go for Man U. If they can win 3 of those matches, I'll be
Yes.
very, very surprised. I'll be very amazed.
So you don't expect
Ten Hag.
United to get
Nah,
over
I
over
think
6 points
I
again?
think the best Man U can come out of this season is Europa Conference League, considering the fixtures we have and how
What is there
lethargic
to
their
play for
performances
the
are
other
these
teams? Yeah?
days. Hmm?
Honestly, it's so
I mean, we're not
crazy.
here to talk about Man U, so
Yeah.
yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about the Spurs and Newcastle. After doing them towards the end of the season, we'll talk about his future. Do you think Newcastle can make a run for Champions League
Yes,
spots, or
yes.
do you think
I do
the best
think
to get is Europa
I
League?
think they can. They're in the mix now. Spurs and Newcastle obviously have the toughest fixtures of the three, so you'd expect that they'll still drop points here and there. So yes, I still think it's also be played for.
All right. So Liverpool versus Palace. Liverpool lost a goal to nil at home for the second time consecutively. Well, what do you make of their performance?
It was just not. It was actually a good performance. It was just the finishing that was atrocious. Because I think if every both teams converted their chances, I think the match will have finished like 4-2 or maybe 5-3. But that's what we've been saying since. That's what I've been telling Liverpool fans since. That are you ready to bet your life on Darwin Nunez? And most of the people I speak with, they are usually happy to play with him. They revere the guy, and I usually tell them that this guy misses a lot of chances, and they're happy with it. So I guess they must be happy with this as well, because that's what happens when you have a striker that's not clinical. It gets contagious, and I think it's affecting the rest because I don't know what is actually wrong with Salah right now, and even Luis Diaz is not what he used to be. But I think Liverpool is. I don't know. Their attack is just letting the team down, and they have to quickly find a solution. Otherwise, their season is going to be like ending. It's going to end up very, very sad.
Well, for me, I'm going to give Palace like credit for making it a little
Yeah.
difficult for Liverpool because they kept the ball when they needed to keep the ball. They defended in a compact way, and they created about 3 big chances.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
think
they missed 2 anyway, but Liverpool created 4 big chances and missed all 4. So
I
yeah,
think we should also celebrate or appreciate them for it's very difficult to play against this Liverpool attack with just one recognized centre back, which was Anderson. It was paired with Nathaniel Klein and Jefferson Lerma, who are not
who are not center
actually centre
backs.
backs.
Yeah.
So it's really a big feat for them to actually emerge with a clean sheet, even though that was not really down to them,
So
but due to
like
poor finishing.
saying Liverpool are suffering from mental exhaustion would that be right? Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
still
that's
create as much chances,
mhm,
but they're just not converting them.
yeah.
And like defensively, they seem to be more vulnerable to counter attacks. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think like I said, they've been playing with especially in the midfield, like the same players almost all season. It's bound to tell, and that's what you get when you don't have depth. And when we were speaking about this match, I think the previous week, 2 weeks ago, I don't think I was
the
there
previous
for
week.
the last shoot. Yeah, I was saying that depth is going to actually count when it comes to the running. And Man City, they have like three teams, three teams capable of winning the Premier League title. As in three teams with elite players, and I don't think Arsenal and Liverpool can match them when it comes to depth. And it's telling now. And as for the mental exhaustion that Liverpool players are going through, I don't even know what Klopp is going to do about that.
Because he himself seemed exhausted
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yesterday, he was just
So
saying, "Wow, he had no
yeah,
solutions," and he subbed for once. They weren't
they
good
didn't
subs.
make
They didn't make the difference. Yeah.
really they didn't really make a difference. So yeah, let's move on to Arsenal versus Villa. I mean, for me, it was a poor game defensively for Arsenal. 'Cause attacking wise, they created two big chances and they missed both chances. Villa created three big chances and they missed two, and they even hit the woodwork two times.
Yeah.
So I think Ateta using Havertz in the midfield was not really a good decision, and it kind of backfired because the subs were not also very good. But like I have to take my hats off for Emery. I mean, the players he played, they stepped up considering about four of his regular players were injured for the game, and Emi Martinez really pulled a big performance yesterday. So, what do you think about the game?
It was a game of fine margins. I think
That
if
was that.
Trossard ball
Yeah,
had gone in the net, we would have been talking about
yeah.
something else entirely now. It would have been a much different
It
game.
could
But
have been a
yeah,
potential route.
yeah. But from that moment on, I think Aston Villa might have well have just
Then the
won the
subs
match
were wrong. Like
from
from removing
Ateta.
Gabriel Jesus and Odegaard, I think
They're just resting them for Bayern.
it gave Villa a lot of freedom, going forward, and also in terms of like the control of the game. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so what do you think going forward now for Arsenal? Like,
They just have to keep at it and hope for the best and hope they just have to win their own games. Concentrate on your own games, win your own games, and just block out the rest. You can only win your own matches and hope that maybe
yeah.
Man City stumbles or something. But
So just 2 points separates City from Liverpool and Arsenal. 6 games to go. What do you think?
I
Are
still
you still
stand on my.
backing City?
Of course, I'm still backing City. I'll always back City because they have no fans and everything they do will always have an
Plus the
asterisk.
115 charges.
Yeah, everything they do will always have an asterisk. And Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, you don't have to be angry. Don't worry. At the end of the day, this title might end up being yours because hopefully when they get around to it and they finally charge these people or sort these charges, maybe they will finally punish them.
Maybe
I'm sure Everton fans are
because
fuming
it's
where
a
they are
maybe.
because
Even
how
Nottingham Forest
yeah
fans.
because how fair is this? Somebody has
Even
115
Leicester
charges.
City that are in
Yeah,
championship,
they have less and they've
they
deducted
already
their
have
points.
points deducted for
Yet
whenever they come
these
back
people
to
with
the PL.
115 charges, you've not done anything at all to them. Not even a transfer ban. Is really sad
It's,
what Premiership is
it's
doing.
laughable.
It's really laughable.
So like their next game, City's next game is against Tottenham at Tottenham Stadium. Well, Arsenal's next game is against Wolves
At
at Wolves, and Liverpool's next game is against Fulham. So the three teams are having away games.
yeah, and those three games,
What
at
do you
least
think?
for both Arsenal and Liverpool, they have to like win. They have to bounce back.
I think Arsenal have the least, like the weakest team amongst the three. The
As in
weakest opponent.
title running or
No, the weakest
just this
opponent for the
next.
next game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on paper.
on paper. Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. The mental fortitude to come back, especially if they crash out
in
in
Champions League.
Champions League, the fact
Which
mental
I
fortitude to
think
come
at
back.
this point, I don't want them to, but I think it will be beneficial for them because I don't think Ateta is. I don't think Ateta is capable of handling the pressure and
Of two competitions.
the pressure of being in two important competitions at this stage in the season.
And at this stage of his career,
considering he has City breathing down his neck and also Liverpool. So I just
breathing
think if
down his neck. Are they still breathing
he has
down?
still breathing down his neck now,
They are,
he's
they are,
just 2 points
now what
behind.
I'm saying, they're ahead of him now. They are breathing up his neck.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think it will be better for them to crash out. I don't know.
I,
I think the game between Madrid and City is a little open, but I'm
yeah,
going to give City the edge because
it's going to be at their house,
aside
test
it
stadium.
being at the house, Tchouaméni is going to be out, and we have the lethargic Cruz again in the midfield. So
Yeah, I think
for me,
Cruz was responsible for that Foden's goal. He hesitated.
for two
I mean,
goals
sorry
at
for for
for
Guardiola's goal.
Guardiola's goal,
He hesitated instead
even all
of
through the game, he
charging.
was slow to react to a
Yeah,
lot of
and
things.
that's what
So
age does. The guy is old. I think this should be his
and
last
that
season.
to me, that's left to Ancelotti
Yeah.
because he had players on the bench that he refused to use.
For
Anyway,
Man City, I think this is the time. This is the time for Guardiola to finally end that Tottenham course. If they don't do it, they are just putting themselves in a difficult position. At least they draw. You need
I'm
at
rooting
least a
for
draw.
Big Angie to pull off something.
If he plays with that the suicidal eye line, it will be very, very, very
But we
difficult
get
against.
goals.
Yeah,
We
we
still
get goals,
get
but we will
goals. It
concede.
will be a situation of who will score who.
Yeah, it's up to Alan. Alan is very,
And
very important in deciding that match. He has to take his chances and he has to be better than what he
yeah,
has been recently. He has been, like I said, I've never really considered his talent Ballon d'Or worthy. He just scores goals. To be a Ballon d'Or winner, I mean, I think you need more than just goals. But
you're not FIFA
I'm not
or you're
FIFA.
not
I'm not
UEFA.
L'Equipe newspaper. So I'm just airing my opinion.
All right. So yeah, this is the end of this week's episode or today's episode. We're going to be back on Friday to discuss the results from Champions League and maybe Europa League games. So you guys like, subscribe, share,
Yeah,
and
congratulations to Bayern Leverkusen.
yeah, congrats to Alonso and Brian Leverkusen. Enjoy the rest of your week.